my name is Ken Hilton, and in this slideshow, I'm going to be speaking about motion graphics. What a lot of people don't know is that motion graphics is all around us. It's in films, TV sequences, it's also in games. Motion graphics is normally animation and video, which creates the impression of motion or rotation, almost like an illusion, which can be combined with music and audio to create more of an effect. My first example is going to be a film title sequence, Fast and Furious 6. This film title sequence has used very effective motion graphics. As you can see, the text is moving according to the images on the screen, and the speed in which it's moving from each slide is very fast, as we know. Um, the film is about fast cars and driving and crime, which I believe was done on purpose. That's why they're switching from side to side very fast. Um, when the woman shoots the gun now, um, the screen flashes very fast between her and the gun. I believe this was used to create a lot of thrill because obviously that will make us feel the gunshot a lot more. My next example is going to be a music video. This music video is Mindless Behaviours Girls Talking About. Um, I chose this music video because I'm quite familiar with the boy band, and I understand that the colours they used is the colours they thought would uh, attract the girls to their music video. I think the font they have used, they did intentionally um, to give. They gave a slight shadow, I think, to show movement because they are a very dance-based band. Um, so I think, as you can see, the text moves fast. It moves with each member. Um, when it flashes from each individual member, the font and the color is to suit uh, them each to represent them. Uh, I know that Princeton is a peaceful guy, therefore they've used green because everybody knows that green can be associated with peace. I think the motion graphics was definitely effective as it also shows the lyrics of the song, which means it's a multi-purpose video. My next example is a title sequence. I've used the news at 10, and if we just watch it, goes by very fast. Now, if I take you through it, from the very beginning, we see uh, the Big Ben is pointed at 10 o'clock. And the reason we understand that it's nighttime is because on each tile, which we would call split screen um, in motion graphics, each tile is either the clock, Big Ben, or it's showing nighttime. That's how we know that it is nighttime. It then moves on to, if we just go back, it moves on to the Earth spinning. Um, I think this is to insinuate that this news that we're going to be watching is going to be based on the world. It's going to be based on everywhere. It's not just going to be based on like something like London Tonight, which is only about London. This is going to be talking about the news. If it's news in South Africa, we're going to be talking about it here. If it's news in England, we're going to be talking about it here. Any country, that's what they're going to be talking about. Um, I also wanted to say, each slide proceeds to show different issues. So you've got cars here. You've also got, hold on, we go back. Got Downing Street. I also think it shows the army. And the speed in which it shows has been fast forwarded. I think this is to highlight how fast stories arise in the world. They use split screen to show multimedia. I believe this is to show that they will be telling us about loads of different stories, and they're going to make sure they highlight every bit they can. Um, I also believe they've done this is because they're going to be speaking about a lot of issues. Therefore, they're going to show us as much of an insight about all of the stories as they possibly can. My next slide is going to be an advert. This is Chanel, a Chanel perfume advert. As you can already see and hear, the noise of every time, well, motion graphics was used in this video because every time a Chanel sign appears, you hear the sound of liquid, which insinuates that every spray of the perfume is going to leave you smelling amazing. The actual shapes used also shows it also shows that it's a drop. You can see that it sort of shadows itself, opens up like a drop. Also, if you just go back there, you can see this is showing time, which means that you're going to be smelling nice for a long period of time while wearing it. Also, the music, we know Chanel's a French brand, so the music goes quite well with the advert to let you know the background of the company in one. So next is game graphics. This is Sims 4. Okay. As you can see, motion graphics was used there. Text. The text moves across the screen, and it's talking about different ages. So therefore, it flashes from each age to show you the differences that we've seen in previous games. Since motion graphics gives information about the actual game, things like health bars, choosing different outfits, motion graphics, and it is very different to gameplay because gameplay you're playing it, you ask them to move here and there. That's something that you tell to do. But if you see these things here, when they are clicked, um, these are things that this would be gameplay. However, all the things that you click on them when they come out, like different outfits, that's something that you'd call motion graphics, because that's something that the game maker would have had to make in order for it to come out once you click that selection. So yeah, it's sometimes people find it hard to know the difference between gameplay and motion graphics. But now, yeah, this is all motion graphics here that they just did there, but this is gameplay. So it's basically things that we have control of would be the gameplay. However, things like options for the game would be something that we'd call motion graphics that the game's makers would actually have to make. My last example is going to be a banner, and I've chosen the Nissan car web banner. When I went on YouTube, this actually moves, but I couldn't actually get it to move for the PowerPoint. But this here in the background is actually, it was a still image, but they used motion graphics to give the illusion that it was actually moving. The car never actually went anywhere, but from the way the text went by, the way the background, it almost made you feel that the car was going quite fast. If you can see even here, all of this, it makes you feel like the car's driving, and they've done that on purpose. Um, the actual background gives you like sort of a galaxy feel, which makes you feel that obviously we know that there's no gravity in space and that things that fly quite around freely. So it makes you feel like when you're driving this car, you're going to be feeling quite smooth on the road, which makes people want to buy this car. The last thing I'll finish off with is my point, saying that motion graphics is omnipresent. Like I said in the beginning, it is all around us. everywhere you look, there's motion graphics, and it's got bigger in today's society. Um, Before it was just added in, to maybe film title sequence where they didn't really have much to work with, so they were just adding shapes, flying it across here and there. People introduced it in. Now it's absolutely everywhere. Adverts, films, as you can see with the examples I gave you. Some people probably wouldn't have known that it was actually motion graphics, but it very much is. Even from learning motion graphics, I can look at adverts and be like, wow, that's motion graphics, because things fly across the screen, going from left to right, things popping in your face. They're all motion graphics. Even when things blow up, if it blows up in your face, that's all motion graphics, because they normally have sound to go with it to give a bigger effect. But yeah, that's my take on motion graphics. I hope you've enjoyed listening. Thank you.